Hey all, JB here. Well, nagsara lahat ng science lab so we're just doing simple experiments at home. And I've come prepared. I have this handy table, safety glasses, at syempre, hindi kompleto ang lahat ng yun kung wala kang chemistry book. Teka, hindi naman ito yung chemistry book eh. This is the Alchemist. It has words in it. Since wala naman na akong ibang materials, let's just talk about this. The Alchemist is a novel written by Brazilian author Paulo Coelho. Come on guys, alam kong gusto niyo munang malaman yung plot nitong story. What even is an alchemist? So let's do it in a very creative way. We meet Santiago, a young and adventurous Andalusian shepherd. He sleeps under a sycamore tree that grows out of the ruins of an abandoned church. Meron siyang isang paulit-ulit na panaginip na sabi raw ng isang bata, kailangan niyang pumunta sa pyramids of Egypt para makakuha ng treasure. He meets Melchizedek who claims to be the king of Salem, and the strange old man says that Santiago needs to fulfill his personal legend. Or in simpler words, his dreams. Santiago sells his flock and Melchizedek also gives him 2 stones to consult kung nahirapan siyang gumawa ng desisyon, black for yes, white for no. At nagsimula ng paglalakbay, Santiago goes off to Tangier kung saan ninakawan siya. Wala na siyang pera. He almost gave up but then he met a merchant and together they sold crystals. They also made a lot of money so Santiago continues his almost forgotten journey. He joins a caravan crossing the Sahara Desert and he met an Englishman who was studying to be an alchemist or someone who can turn metal, lead into gold. He has the same 2 stones that Melchizedek gave to Santiago and he told him that this was no coincidence. And then they continue to talk about their personal legend. The caravan stops at Al-Fayum where Santiago meets Fatima and he falls in love with her. Santiago discovers an omen that portends that there would be an attack on the oasis. Santiago warns the tribal chief and Al-Fayum defends itself from the attack. The alchemist gets a word of Santiago's vision and thus he met the shepherd to help him fulfill his personal legend. The alchemist explains to Santiago the soul of the world, that everything and everyone has a personal legend. Even minerals have a personal legend because they can turn into gold. In a Coptic monastery, the alchemist is able to turn lead into gold and he gives some gold to Santiago. And finally, Santiago arrived at the pyramids of Egypt and he kept digging and digging for his treasure. 2 men robbed and beat him up, but Santiago was trying to explain that he was finding treasure. They didn't care and just said that his dream was worthless. One of the 2 men shared that he also had a worthless dream, that there was treasure, get this, in an abandoned church under a sycamore tree in Spain. At that point, Santiago knew where his treasure was. He fulfilled his personal legend. He also reunited with Fatima. He has honey, he has money. Great plot twist, huh? The Alchemist was published in 1988, and it was originally in the Portuguese language. It has sold over 65 million copies worldwide. I can narrow down what we've learned in about 3 lessons. Of course, we all want to fulfill our own personal legends. We want to live up to our passion. But if Santiago had a metal detector, Alchemist would be like 3 pages long. Maybe we just need to look around us. Maybe we could fulfill our personal legend in our surroundings. There's a lot to be grateful for. And of course, we're called to go outside of our comfort zones. We went from Spain to Egypt and back to Spain. Brings up a question. What was more important? Was it the treasure or the whole process? The whole process that shaped Santiago as a human being. Though The Alchemist isn't really highly regarded for its literary aspects, I see it as a good transition book for me to level up my reading. It helped me to write more creative sentences, to be more descriptive, to be more in touch with reality. It helped me become a better writer. For the final lesson, there's a personal legend for all objects, all people, for everyone and everything, because it teaches us to value our things more. Just how the alchemist turns lead into gold, there's a lot of potential for everything. Let us pray to configure ourselves with God's plan so we can make our personal legends more meaningful. I too have my own personal legend. Gusto ko ring magsulat ng libro. Baka pwedeng title niya ay Al Biologist.